Deepwoken is the biggest paid access game recently released on Roblox right now. With all this attention, many people are stuck on the decision as to whether they should spend the money to get access themselves. So the first major quirk within Deepwoken that needs to be addressed is that the game is hard. If you're looking for a game where you can turn your brain off and click away for a few hours to see your character get some pretty colors, this is not the game for you. The difficulty in Deepwoken is something formidable even for veteran players of roguelikes and difficult games. What I think makes Deepwoken unique is that the game gives you many opportunities to improve your skill. Most of the monsters in the game are surprisingly simple, and the two main defensive mechanics, dodging and parrying, will get you as far as you're willing to put the effort in to take the knowledge of attack patterns and ingrain it into your reactions. Once you learn the attack patterns of an enemy, it becomes more about how many times you fought the enemy and employed your reactions to improve rather than how strong you are. Wiping is significant just like any roguelike game, but the skill and knowledge you can get just by practicing fighting monsters over a few wipes can make it much easier to bridge the skill gap between a new and seasoned player than in other games where it's just about how many times you've clicked on a dummy. The combat is a true incarnation of easy to learn and hard to master. When you're first plopped into the game, you're given almost no information. There's plenty of NPCs to talk to in the starting areas, and they will end up giving you your first bit of money to progress with. After this point, Deepwoken encourages you to explore since you don't really have any other option. Sure, you could cut trees and make some spare change from selling wood, but in order to progress, you need to set sail. This is the most enjoyable and fun period of the game, especially if you have friends. If you're still thinking about whether or not you should get the game, I strongly encourage you to abstain from using any maps at least early on. Sailing around, even if you feel like you're aimlessly treading the seas, is part of the journey. Eventually, you'll discover the island of Arisia, which is the intended starting point for leveling. This is where some controversy with the game being a bandit beater starts. I think what makes a game a bandit beater is stagnant combat with a low skill requirement to progress. Deepwoken solves the issue of stagnant combat by using dynamic events and player interactions to keep you on your toes. Different NPCs with different weapons, attack styles, and even varying skill levels can spawn in bandit camps. Some of the bandits can parry almost everything you throw at them, and others won't even block you. Combine this with other players either deciding to help you or kill you, along with NPCs who can take your side during events and fights, and you have a unique and actually fun solution to the typical stale combat of a bandit beater. This isn't even taking into consideration the fact that monsters can randomly spawn, and the mental reward from overcoming the initial skill curve the game throws at you. When it comes to progression, Deepwoken succeeded in moving away from the traditional menu investment point system. Most RPG games have a simple menu system where you click a plus sign and you spend an investment point you've earned to improve your stats. In Deepwoken, you are required to utilize the stat which you want to improve. Want to increase your strength? You need to fight and swing your sword and lift some weights in between battles. Need more intelligence? Pick some plants and read an encyclopedia, and that will end up allocating points into intelligence. Instead of earning points and working your way up to the next level, Deepwoken gives you your investment points off the bat and tells you to work backwards to spend them, counting down until you hit your next level where your points are refreshed again. This loop of training, leveling, getting new equipment, participating in events, and improving your own skill at the game's combat sets Deepwoken apart from any Roblox game I've ever played. This is not a Roblox game, it's a game on Roblox. I could go on and on about how Deepwoken manages to make its progression flavorful and filled with enjoyment, but I'd like to talk about the price of the game. Deepwoken is priced at 400 Robux or $5. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, but I think Deepwoken is drastically undervalued. Consider a AAA $60 game. This is a little out there, but I'm going to make a comparison to Steam. Steam has a system somewhere in your profile. This might be some kind of Steam website, I'm not sure, but anyways, where it divides the cost by the amount of how many hours of gameplay you got out of the game. In other words, if you've spent $60 on a game and spent 60 hours playing it, you effectively spent $1 for every hour you played the game. Deepwoken is a $5 game and is now just over a week old. I've got about 40 hours of gameplay on it. This means I've spent about 12 to 13 cents per hour of gameplay. The amount of replayability you can get from Deepwoken is ludicrous. Many AAA full-priced $60 games, which oftentimes encourage you to purchase DLC to get more gameplay content in order to keep playing, don't even keep me playing for 40 hours. Deepwoken doesn't have any content-related DLC either, but there is a more minor race rerolling system and the ability to purchase more character slots, so you don't have to buy the game again to have multiple characters. Deepwoken is far from a flawless game. The number one limiting factor and flaw within Deepwoken is connectivity and ping. Having a poor internet connection or being in a region which doesn't have close servers on Roblox's end can completely ruin the experience of the game. Based on your ping, there's two types of parrying: reactive, skill-based parrying, and predictive, guess-based parrying. I shouldn't have to explain which one is more enjoyable, but I'm going to be honest, the biggest limiting factor for Deepwoken, in my opinion thus far, has been the Roblox platform itself. Taking a pretty high cut of the game's earnings, something which has nothing to do with and is not at all at the fault of the developers, you'd think Roblox would have some nicer solutions for optimization issues, have better infrastructure for its servers, or even have better communication and support for its developers and community. I get that the problem of ping is a hard one to solve, but my point is that as a platform encouraging people to make games, Roblox has a give-take relationship with its developers, and I think that they really take a bit more than they give. If this video was helpful to you or you enjoyed it, I strongly encourage you to